Is that any time?
Yeah, yeah. Can we start?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good afternoon, Professor. Before we delve into our presentation, I would like to take a moment to introduce my colleague, my member from this group assignment. Our group is made of Raymond, Maria, which is me, Akim, and Olu. Together, we're going to take you through our presentation, and the company that we are going to present is a FlexStar Premium Packaging Solution. So this company is a packaging provider led by the CEO, Alex Koroskai, and his dedicated team. FlexStars provide itself on delivering high-quality packaging solution to its customer. All this is done under the leadership of Alexis, who is the CEO of the company. And also Flex operates and makes strategic decisions. So this company, our presentation actually will discuss the financial standing, operational challenges, and the planned growth which they are facing. Flex also face typical challenges in managing finance and operation, but they have been proactive in addressing them. They're also keen on expanding their market reach and product range. In terms of operation, Flex evaluates machinery replacement, they manage work cost efficiently and optimize commission structures of the team. Despite the challenge like changing customers' demand, FlexStar is poised for success. They're always on the lookout of new opportunity and strategy to overcome obstacles. So I'm going to pass this presentation to my colleague, Akim, who is going to take you through the analysis of our presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Maria. I'll be touching on the financial situation of FlexStar. The case has explained to us that he's hoping to get a loan of $5 million for expansion, and he believes that he can get it because of his balance sheet and financial situation. So what we have done is to look at the ratios and in the industrial average, comparing it to see whether the ratios are good enough for him to get the $5 million loan for expansion. So we looked at the liquidity ratios, that's the acid test ratio, and the current ratios, which looked at how easy is it for him to meet his short-term obligations. So these ratios is looking at the liquid asset, that's the cash, and the receivables. And the industrial average for the quick ratio is 1.3. And we can see that as of 2022, he had 1.31, but over the next 2 years of 2023 and 2024, the ratios declined, which means that he is not meeting up with the industrial average, and the banks will be looking at these ratios to see if he can actually get a loan. We also looked at the debt to equity ratio and the fixed asset turnover ratio. These ratios are looking at the profitability and how easy for FlexStar to get the loan requested. So from this, we can see that the debt to equity ratio was 47% in 2022 and had grown up to 64% in 2024, compared to the industry average of just 35%. This shows that FlexStar already had enough debt in his books, and the bank will not be willing to give additional debt to a company that has high debt to equity ratio. We also look at the gross profit ratio, and this is positive. We can see that the gross profit grew from 38% in 2022 to 40% in 2024. The industry average for this industry is 40%, and this shows that they are making good enough profit that is comparable with other companies in that industry. Now, we also looked at the inventory. We looked at the inventory days and the inventory turnover. So these ratios looked at how long inventory stays in your system before they are converted into sales. And we can see that the industry average is 65 days. And FlexStar has 143 days as of 2024. This is quite high and shows that FlexStar keep inventory in his warehouse for longer times. This has implications because there's holding cost, which he'll be paying for the storage of those of the inventory, and also shows that he doesn't have cash, because if inventory are in your warehouse and you are not selling them, you are tying down cash. This is also similar to the inventory turnover ratio, which looks at the inventory compared to the cost of sales. We can see that the industry average is 5.6, and for Flexstar, it has 3.9 in 2022 and 2.6 in 2024, which shows that the inventory turnover ratio is very low. It is good for inventory turnover to be high, so the bank will not be willing to extend loan facility to him with this kind of ratio. For the receivable days, just like we talked about inventory days, we also looked at the receivable days. Receivable days is looking at how long it takes for you to get money back from your customers. That is, if you sell on credit and you are not able to recover your money from the customers on time. So receivable days, we can see that in 2022 was 55 days and grew as much as 86 days in 2024, compared to inventory average of just 43 days. This shows that it takes Flexstar longer time to recover money from their customers, and the bank will not be willing to give loan to such company. Also, we looked at return on fixed assets, return on total assets, turnover ratio, and working capital ratio. All these are looking at how your returns, your sales, compared to your assets. And we can see that for the fixed asset return, the industry average is 28, and for Flexstar, we can see that the fixed asset return ratio is 33%. That means that the sales compared to fixed asset is quite high, which is good in this case. The total asset turnover ratio grew from 0.78 to 1.08, which compares in similar situation with the industry average. So in summary, comparing the ratio analysis with industry average, we can see that Flexstar may not be able to meet its short-term obligations because all the ratios are not favoring well compared to industry average. So we believe that they need to work on their inventory days, their receivable days, to make sure that they recover the money from their customers on time. Next slide, please. Okay, so we looked at the variance analysis. We were given the component cost, the quantity, and the price. So we were also given that there's plan to increase labor cost by as much as 20%. So we look at the component to see what is causing the variance between 2023 and 2024. We can see that in 2023, they had a total cost of material and labor of $8,972. And in 2024, they had a total cost of $11,000. This shows a variance of 2,028. So what we try to do is to look at what is actually the component of the variance of 2,028. We can see that material price variance is 170, material quantity variance is 307, labor rate is 782, and labor time variance is 769. If you add these four together, we'll come to the variance of $2,028. So this shows where they can focus their attention on to see where they can get cost savings. So as we can see that most of their variance, negative variance, is coming from labor, with a labor rate variance of 782 out of $2,000, and labor time variance of 769. That's over $1,500 compared to the $2,000 total variance. So we can see that they need to work on the labor rate to be able to achieve the reduction in cost that they are aiming to achieve. So that's the presentation from my end. I'll pass this on to my colleague Olu. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Akin. Yeah, I'm going to be taking us through the next two slides. So the first one before us is the NPV, which is calculating the net present value. And basically, what this is looking to address is just to check, to evaluate whether to buy or not to buy a new bag making machine for FlexStar. We considered the cost of the machine, the potential savings over the years as a result of reduced variable costs. And it's looking like, I'll just break it down so we can take it through each of the steps. So the evaluation here is consideration whether to replace the machine, the actual cost of the machine being $100,000. And as a result of buying a new machine, there is a potential cost savings in the variable cost over the years of the useful life of the machine, which comes to about $8,000 a year. The residual value of this machine after 5 years is $10,000. With a discount rate of 10%, it's then possible to calculate the net present value of this decision, whether it was going to be a good one for FlexStar or not. In the end, the net present value happens to be a positive net present value of $7,482.94. Invariably, a net present value is almost like getting a green light, which is to say, a positive net present value is a green light, which is to say, whatever decision we were trying to evaluate, whether it's going to add value or not, if it's positive, then it's adding value. So with this, it's recommended that it's possible for FlexStar to consider buying and replacing this machine because in the long run, it does provide some cost savings. And at the end of it all, there's a positive net present value to it. Next slide, please. The second part of the analysis, which I'm going to be putting forward here, does look at the contribution of the garbage bags to the overall business of FlexStar. So what we've done here is to add the budget, the incremental budget, the actual, then consider the difference. In the very end, considering the incremental budget, the net profits as a result, and also the actual with the difference, we can say that the actual sales was more than the budget. If the unit price is fixed, it will contribute 174,742 to the company. But however, there's a favorable variance of 35,310 in labor with a marginal unfavorable variance of 6,316 in materials. Sales price should be fixed and sales commission should be based on the fixed price. Alex, as the decision maker here, should not eliminate the garbage bag business unit because if the sales price are fixed for the budget, it will contribute positively to the downlines and the recovery of global fixed costs for FlexStar. Thank you. I'll pass it on to Ray to take us through the next couple slides.
Thank you, Pate. So I'm covering the conclusion and recommendation. So for conclusion, excellent innovation, FlexStar is dedicated to achieving the highest standard of quality and continues striving to introduce new ideas and improvements of their product and services and processes. For the risk management, work cost negotiation, and strategic expansion planning, prioritizing managing credit risk effectively, negotiating costs associated with the labor and materials, are planning strategically for expansion into new market or product line, and addressing the challenges. FlexStar confronts the obstacle head-on rather than avoiding them, and actively seeking out opportunities for growth and advancement in the market, improving operational efficiency and mitigating risk. FlexStar is streaming its operational to maximize productivity, minimizing potential risk to the business, taking advantage of opportunities presented by market condition, by staying also agile and versatile in the challenging business landscape. So FlexStar remains flexible and adaptive to challenges in the industry. And FlexStar also embraced technology advancement and fostering the culture of innovation. So it adopts new technology to enhance operation and encourages work environment where creative and innovation are valued and promoted, demonstrating leadership and resilience amid difficulties. So it exhibits also strong leadership and qualities and ability to bounce back from setbacks, demonstrating resilience in the face of challenges. And also, yeah, we should have also, or the company also have a clear vision, strategic direction, and commitment to excellence for long-term success. As for recommendation, so enhance the credit risk management. This recommendation success or suggests improving efficiency and effectiveness of handling credit-related processes within Flexstar. So by streamlining the credit application procedure, implementing advanced tracking mechanism, the company can better manage its exposure to credit risk. This involves also reducing the likelihood of bad debt and strengthening the relationship with the customers. Proactive work cost management, optimizing bill of materials, evaluating of machine replacement are some of the recommendations too that we need to to do. So these recommendations like involves accessing feasibility of replacing machineries with Flexstar operation by conducting the cost benefit analysis using techniques like NPV, which showed earlier, and the company can determine whether it's replacing essential or not, which I believe the decision or at least the numbers says it should be replaced because it will be beneficial. So also financial performance improvement. So that's another thing that we need to do. Explore funding alternatives, like Flexstar is encouraged to explore various funding options. It's involved with rating factors such as interest rate, loans term, ownership, implications associated with a different financial option. So by selecting most suitable funding alternative, the company can balance the cost effectiveness, flexibility, and the impact to its ownership structure. And lastly but not the least, the optimize the sale commission structure, which involved optimizing of sales commission structure and to align incentives with profitability goals. So the transitioning the gross profit based commission too. So yeah, that's it for me for the recommendation, and thank you so much. And in behalf of our team, Olu, Akin, Maria, and I, Raymundo, I would like to thank you, Professor, for the opportunity that you have given us. Thank you so much, sir.